Yo, what's up, rockers? I'm Alejandro, and this is Rock Brothers Podcast. Lou, what a night, man! After like an hour trying to get this interview, it is Friday the 13th, man.
What did you expect?
It is Friday the 13th, but we are good to go right now with our special guest, Miss Sandy Johnson. Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Excellent. Excited to finally get this going. It's a bit of a change for us, a departure from music that we normally do. It's a great tie-in with the horror genre, and but you are just not limited to the horror genre. You have a lot of stuff going on, so we would like to pretty much get to all of that. But we do want to start with that. She's an accomplished actress, author, and a Playboy model.
Gorgeous, by the way.
Which is pretty awesome. And we want to mention that you can get at her website, it's unicornsandyj.com. Is that correct?
It's unicornsandyj.com.
Yes, and you guys can check out. She's got some excellent memorabilia. She's got pictures from her Playboy days. But we want to start talking about your role in the original Halloween movie. So Sandy played Michael Myers' sister, and that was the actual first victim of the whole movies, and that's what set it off. Got him sent to the asylum. He grew up and came out with just as much rage. But so when you guys were doing that, obviously the movie, became larger than life, and it was, it ended up spawning several sequels and stuff. Did you guys, did anybody feel anything big was going on like that? It was a time where there were so many good horror movies coming out at the time, but that actually, became a cult classic, and then just, like I said, spawned several sequels. Did you guys feel anything like that it was kind of going to be bigger than life?
Really think so. I mean, we hoped it would do well. Everybody in it was pretty new. John Carpenter was just, kind of new, and Jamie Lee first film, I think. So we had hopes for it, but when it first opened, of course, it didn't have very good reviews, and but the fans turned out really loving it, so it started to spread.
Excellent, and it did. It actually, became huge. I saw that as a kid, and I'm sorry, but this was so rude. I forgot to introduce a great friend of our podcast, Dawn of the Underground, and she has joined us. She actually made all of this happen. We got the connection for Sandy through her, and we finally got this going, and it's a great change for us, and I think it's for just entertainment in general. She just came off of 70,000 tons of metal cruise, and she did all kinds of behind the scenes stuff, but that's another episode that will be coming soon. But so with the horror, you do because the cons, the conventions, that stuff came a lot later than the movie actually aired. Do you do a lot of those around the country, the conventions, the cons?
Yes, I do. They actually came about 35 years later.
Wow.
I did, I think, maybe 5 or 6 last year, and maybe 10 or 11 the year before that. It really depends on who the cons are kind of sponsoring, which franchise, Terrifier or Halloween, or they kind of tend to go in groups.
All right, excellent. And on set, were there anything, that memorable that may have happened? Any mishaps? You were actually with the younger version of Michael Myers. So he was in the clown costume. And again, if you check out her website, unicornsandyj.com, you can see a lot of that memorabilia on there, and the clown suit, the clown mask, which is pretty cool. Got blood splatters, which is pretty awesome. So with that, were there any kind of mishaps? Was that, as far as the actor that played the younger version of Michael, was there any kind of stories that you can tell us on set?
As far as the young Michael, he, Will Sandlin, he was only 6, so he was not actually in the room with me, of course, because I didn't have clothes on. He was out by the street. And he never came in the house. But Deborah Hill, of course, is the one that was stabbing me. She has the little hands. So she was there. And I guess the most memorable thing from that day was just sitting upstairs in that house, and it was a very old house, so the stairs creaked, and it was just kind of a creepy old house anyway, and I could hear them coming for me.
Well, that's actually kind of perfect.
The creaking the steps, and I could hear them come across the hallway outside, so it was pretty creepy, actually. Not like a big sound stage or something. A lot creepier than that. So I do remember that, them kind of just creeping up on me, and I kept thinking, shit, they're coming to kill me.
Well, that's awesome, because that kind of adds to the whole mystique of the filming. It probably worked out better that it wasn't on a sound stage because of that, and then the creakiness, the creepiness, like you actually felt like they were coming for you, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely creepy, and I guess the most challenging part of the scene was falling off the stool without getting hurt multiple times.
How many times did it take? Because I saw the fall, and it was like perfect placement. Let's just put it that way. And if you guys have not seen the original Halloween, it's Friday the 13th. What's wrong with you? Set it up. But beautiful scene, and the way that you fell was just so like, perfectly placed. How long did it take you to do that? How many takes?
Well, we only did 2 takes.
Wow.
For the whole scene. Now we practiced a number of times. How many times we actually practiced each part? Because we didn't practice it all the way through. We would practice it in sections. But I'm sure I probably fell off the stool 5 or 6 times.
Excellent, but you got it in 2 takes. That's pretty great. So, but you have also an extensive filmography. What other movies that stood out from that time period that you did?
I would say that Gas Pump Girls is probably my favorite. It was just so much fun to make. We had we had music outside, and we were all dancing at the gas station, and we just had a blast making that one. And Hot was a lot of fun. So yeah, that was the sorority girls, and I was one of the mean, stuck-up girls. So it was fun to play it. We were all friends, but it was fun to be mean.
That's excellent. That was just a string of movies that along that time period was just that type of movie that was just a lot of skin, a lot of good times, a lot of teenage and early 20 hijinks. So those are all pretty great examples of the genres. But you also are an accomplished author, but we also want to talk about your Playboy days. And you were actually Playboy of the Month for So
yes.
So with that, 1974.
Which month?
June 74, summer
Good.
month. So that's a good month. So was your shoot on location, or was it in the mansion, or how did that go?
We We actually shot in several locations. We shot at the mansion in Chicago. We shot at the mansion in California. We shot at the beach. And we shot on a soundstage somewhere. I don't remember exactly. So yeah, we shot a lot of different places. We had a set designer that followed us around and made everything look beautiful. And I had Mario Casilli was my main photographer, and he was fabulous. One of the best photographers ever. He was just a joy to work with. Very talented. So I loved it. I had great times at the mansion. As a Playmate, I could come up anytime and just bring them.
That's awesome in itself.
Friends. So it was a ton of fun.
That's excellent, because that's quite a distinction. It's not like you were just one of the models. You were featured for the month. So that was, like I said, quite a distinction that you were actually, the featured model for that month, and that you had that type of access. You're originally from Texas, went to school in California. Did you spend after school a lot of time in California, and your time in Playboy was before your acting career, correct?
Yes. Just about 3 years before. It came out in 74, and I think 76, 78, the film started coming.
Excellent. So after school, did you go back to Texas, or the acting career, did it blossom while you were out in California?
Well, I was doing like improv workshops and taking acting classes and different things. And then my parents, my mother and my father both got cancer pretty close together. And so I was trying to earn money for a treatment for my dad that he wanted to get in Mexico. So that's actually why I did Playboy, to earn money for that medicine. Unfortunately, I lost them both. And I was married, but I don't know. It was just all too much. So I ended up getting divorced, and I left it all behind and came back to Texas, which is where my family lived. The rest of my family, my other sisters. And when I got here, I just started a new life. I became a teacher, and that's what I did.
Well, excellent. That kind of ties in also to your author, your work as an author, because you also earned a PhD, correct?
I did. I have a PhD in online instructional design, which is basically writing courses for the internet. And of course, my dissertation was related to that.
Excellent. And you and Dawn actually met out here in Florida. So we're based out of Orlando, out of the Orlando area, St. Cloud, to be exact, which is right outside the Orlando area. But you guys met out here, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Was that on a movie set?
We did. Go ahead, Dawn, you tell them.
Yeah, we were actually on a movie set. I was doing special effects makeup, and I was the detective hunting a serial killer. And she was a very important role in a movie called Doll of Deceit. And we had a blast. We were just laughing our asses off the whole time. We're in a corner having a blast. And then she's done other movies out here as well. I just ran into her, like a month or so ago? I don't know. Time goes very quickly. And working on The Hive. And so I actually done some PA work on that, and had just put out the invitation that if she ever was in the area, and we hooked up again. She's just an awesome person to have time with. She's so intelligent, and so someone that just has my same sense of humor, which I can't say that's a good thing or not.
Since I know your sense of humor, I'll say that is a good thing. Well, that's pretty awesome that you're still, acting and doing stuff out here as well. Do you go out to California much and do work out there?
Currently, conventions. The films that I've been making have been North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida.
there's a lot of production, North Carolina, Georgia as well, which is pretty cool.
Yes,
Looks like
it's
you
a lot less expensive.
and you spanned it all, apparently. So do you want to talk about your website and what's available there for fans to get?
On my website?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, my website has several different collectibles, like the Judith Myers backpack and jack-o'-lantern backpack, and jack-o'-lanterns they have like a venom, that sort of thing, all from the Halloween 78 thing. And then you can also buy autographs on, or you can send me posters or pictures, knives, and send it back. And then I have a brand new membership only section of my Playboy photographs that you can for $50 one-time fee get in and see all the photographs in high resolution. And then if you want to, you can actually order some of them and have them autographed and mailed to you. And then I also have one thing I put on there is a hairbrush, because I did one that's specifically kind of in honor of Judith, where I took a hairbrush, I splatter it with blood, and then I sign it.
Excellent. So what, do you cut yourself a little, and is it actual blood? And do we get actual blood of Miss Sandy as a super collectible?
Did you keep any mementos from Halloween, or did they give you anything from the set that you actually kept with you, like the hairbrush or anything from the set?
Boy, do I wish I'd known then that you should even know that I should do that. So no, I don't have anything, but every film since then, I have tried to get something.
Smart.
Well, you touched on that earlier, that it was early on in John Carpenter's career, as well as being Jamie Lee Curtis's first film. So I guess it was hard to sort of forecast how big it was really going to become.
Yeah, I mean, we had no idea. But of course, I was going through emotional trauma, losing my parents and all that, the divorce, and I just moved to Texas, became a teacher, put into it. So I was totally unaware of what had happened with Halloween. Well, it was the 35th anniversary, so what, 10 years, 8 years or something now. Anyway, my current agent found me and said he'd been looking for me for about 8 years. He said, "Do you want to do horror cons?" And I said, "I don't know, what is that?" So I ended up going to one, and the deal was I had to take my husband with me. And we, at the end of it, he had told me that my agent had said that sometimes, he looks forever, he finds enough one, and I said, "Hell yes, I had a blast." So yeah, I do him anytime he can book it for me. I love the fans; it's tons of fun.
That's awesome, and it's become such a big thing with all those conventions and the cons that I know for the fans, and being a fan, a huge fan myself, that when you get that close to the actors, to the some of the special effects people, because at those things, everybody and Dawn can attest to the fact that she's pretty much done almost everything on a movie set, at a concert.
She saw me.
We're backstage and all that stuff. That, I mean, it takes a lot in the production of that kind of stuff. So, some of these people become big figures themselves, and the fans appreciate all that stuff, so that somebody that was an assistant doing special effects can go there and is known. The fans know them, so when they actually see the characters, such as yourself, some of the main players, and again, that's quite a distinction to be the first victim of that whole that's spawned a whole series, and even the remakes that Rob Zombie made. That was that version was pretty good. It was a little bit more up to dated, a little bit more gory, but there's a lot to be said for the originals, that there was a lot left to mystery, with shadowy. It was such a great angle, your particular scene where it's seen through the eyes of Michael in the mask, so you just see the slits of the eyes and the knife coming up, and it was so awesome. And that you were part of that, and and that we're talking to you now is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool to visit with the fans and hear their stories, because I've had fans come from all over the world to meet me, and I've actually been to other countries, to meet them as well. And their stories are just amazing. I've learned so much from them. So many of them started really young, like 7, 8 years old, watching Halloween.
Wow.
Yeah, I was one of them. I probably shouldn't have watched it at that age, but yeah, that was me, watching it right around that age.
But now they're lifelong horror fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Before I forget, I just got off of 70,000 Tons of Metal, and I ran into one of my friends, Joey from Anthrax. And when I told his wife that I was doing an interview with you, they told me to make sure that I said hi to you, because they had worked on a film with you. So, hi. I'm just saying, I did tell her hi.
You did your job.
I did, and you've probably run across a lot of celebrities. What are some of the best ones or the most memorable ones that you've crossed paths with?
Probably James Jude Courtney. He's probably my favorite from the last 3 or 4 in Halloween. He plays Michael. Nice. He's amazing. I love him. He's almost always like nearby when I'm at cons, at the table, and he's hilarious. He keeps us laughing the whole time. And I know I hate to stick with Halloween, but TJ Souls is fabulous. Who else have I met? God, I've met so many. My memory, I'm old.
No, you have experience points. There's a big difference. You've had an amazing life. Those are good things.
Yeah. I have had an amazing life, and I have met tons of amazing people.
And what a great tie-in, and to your point that we were talking earlier, that it is a small community, that we have that connection. It's not even 6 degrees of separation. That was only just
that's another one I got.
A couple of degrees. But so with that being said, some of the books that you've written, does any of those stand out? I noticed that they're really not entertainment based.
Actually, I haven't written anything other than my dissertation, so that must be a social media myth.
Oh, see, ChatGPT, you lied to us.
She got me on some too.
I have written a lot of curriculum.
That's still writing.
Yeah, that is. I mean,
that's still being accomplished.
I have written a lot of curriculum for lower school and middle school science.
That's awesome, and I love that you do actually bring it back to Halloween, being that it became so big, and you get to work with those people, and I guess really it all brings it back again to talking about the conventions and the cons and stuff, and all you guys sort of traveling around and going. So what countries did you go to do some of these outside of the US?
UK and Germany so far.
That's pretty
nice.
Excellent. That's pretty
Canada.
excellent.
Canada.
Our neighbors to the north. That's pretty awesome. So again, if you guys go to her website, it's unicornsandyj.com. You can see a whole bunch of great memorabilia from the movie, as she said, if you go and sign up for a membership, it's a one-time fee. You can get a choice of high-resolution Playboy pics, which I do recommend you guys check out. Is there anything else that you want to let us know that you're doing coming up soon?
Well, I have a few films that should be out pretty soon. The Executioner, Call of Deceit, The Hive will be coming up. Oh, too long. Black Sheep is coming. The A Soldier's Descent. That one I'm super excited about. That one is about PTSD, and they have just done such a fabulous job with it, bringing in a lot of the people in it are actually military, so they've taken it very serious. I'm a bartender in it, and it's actually in a military bar that all the military hangs out. So I'm excited about that one.
She keeps really busy.
Super cool. So with the PTSD, I'd like to touch on that, but with all those other movies, is it within the horror genre or just kind of different genres?
Pretty much, they're all horror. Why do I keep saying that? The Soldier's Descent, it is a horror movie, but it's horror because of what PTSD can make people do. So it's horrible what happens, and it's definitely a horror movie, but the message is much more important.
Yeah.
Well, that's so important, such an important topic that I think that we don't talk enough about. What our servicemen get put through, the training they get put through, then they come back and try to assimilate back into regular society, and it's hard to decompress, it's hard to let go. You get stripped down pretty much from what you were to becoming a killing machine, and then you're supposed to just come back to your regular life and assimilate, and it's really not easy. And just mental health in general, we don't know enough about how people get affected with depressions and just all kinds of conditions. I think that people aren't getting diagnosed properly because we just don't know enough, and the more that the message gets out there, I think the better. And the fact that they're making movies about that is so important, and the fact that you are part of that is pretty cool.
I'm thankful for you showing a spotlight on that. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good spotlight. A lot of energy has been put into this.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for doing that.
Excellent. We do appreciate that. And again, you could find all her choice memorabilia pictures at unicornsandyj.com. Thank you for joining us today. This was pretty awesome, and is a great jump off from doing just music stuff. We want to do more coming up to bring stuff to the fans that brings them behind the scenes, not only in the world of music, but entertainment in general. I think that the arts in general, music brings people together. Music inspires, music motivates, and we want to do a lot more of that. And privileged to have been talking to you today, and thank you for giving us some time. We got past some of the technical difficulties, this being Friday the 13th, but we got it going. So again, we appreciate it, and we'd love to talk to you again if you have any stuff that you want to talk about, any projects and stuff. You're a friend of the podcast now, so thank you.
I enjoyed visiting with y'all.
Thank you, Sandy.
Excellent. So we are the Rock Brothers Podcast. Check us out on our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share. You can also find us on Instagram. And this is your boy Lou signing off with Dawn of the Underground. My boy Alejandro on the mix. This has been the Rock Brothers Podcast. Out.
Thank you.
You are listening to the Rock Brothers Podcast.
Right now with the Rock Brothers Podcast.
You are watching the Rock Brothers Podcast. Rock Brothers Podcast.
Yeah, the Rock Brothers Podcast.
Brothers Podcast, that's right.
We are with the Rock Brothers.